Brunner has just made their force feedback products way more accessible. And I don't mean just a little bit more affordable. I mean they have cut their joystick base by over $1,200. If you've been sitting waiting on the sidelines for a Brunner that you could actually justify buying, this might be the video you've been waiting for. But before you get excited and hit pre-order, there's something critical you need to understand first, and I'll get to that in just a second. So Brunner has actually launched three new products, or three things. A new force feedback joystick base called the FFB-G, and a new set of rudders, the FFB-G Rudders. And finally, the new software called SimUX, or SimUX. The important things moving forward here are that the joystick and the rudders are designed to run on this new software. But as of this video, that software isn't publicly available yet, and I certainly don't have a copy of it. So everything you're about to see has been tested on the older CLS to Sim software. And that's why this video is not a full review. Consider this your first look from someone who's had both units on their desk. Full separate reviews of each of these products are coming the moment that I have the final software release, and get some time with it. So make sure that you're subscribed so you don't miss those. Let's start with the joystick base, the FFB-G. The FFB-G comes in at $460 US. The existing high-end Brunner base, the CLS-E MK II, sits at $1,645. Now that is not a small gap. That's a completely different buying decision for most people. So what did they actually trade to get there? This is what you're giving up. The force output drops from 6.8 Newton meters peak down to 2.2 Newton meters peak, and that's you could say a meaningful reduction. The pitch and roll travel goes from 20 degrees either way, or 20.5 degrees, sorry, either way, down to about 16. That's kind of noticeable, but still workable. There's no RJ connector. This is a USB only. And that actually matters more than you'd think, which ties directly to why the new software exists. What you're gaining is, I'm just going to move these rudders off to the side a little bit. So what you're gaining is a direct drive motor, which is significant. 16 bits of resolution, a power off switch, which is nice. We never had that before. And a considerably more compact footprint. And honestly, what I describe as a better fit and finish than the bigger brother. That last point, the fit and finish, genuinely surprised me. If you've ever handled any of Fanatec's sim racing gear, specifically their shifter, you'll immediately know what I mean when I say this thing just feels super premium in the hand. It's refined, and it doesn't feel like a budget step down. One thing to be aware of though is that this base was shipped to me without any mounting solution, no suction cups, no bracket, nothing. And you can see it's got these four little rubber feet on the bottom. And I want to be super direct here. If you pre-order this, you need to sort out how you're going to mount it before it arrives, as this is going to move around on you a little bit otherwise. Brunner have said there will be an optional extra available for this. For me, I ended up using this MOZA mounting bracket that I had lying around. And the happy accident here is the mounting holes for existing Brunner sticks are the same mounting pattern that you will find on the bottom of the Brunner. These line up perfectly. So Thrustmaster sized mounting patterns, which means it should mount directly to a Next Level Racing flight simulator rig or any Thrustmaster compatible stick bracket. So someone definitely thought that one through. Brunner also confirmed with me that there will be additional feet or suction style cups available through their store. So those options are coming. Now I want to be super straight with you about who this joystick base isn't the right call for, because I think that will be pretty useful. If your main platform is DCS, there are better options out there. If you primarily fly warbirds, I don't think there's enough resistance weight there to satisfy you. If you fall into either of those categories, I'd hold off until there are full reviews live. But if you're flying GA aircraft or an Airbus in Microsoft Flight Simulator or X-Plane, this could be exactly what you've been looking for. But again, my recommendation is always going to be hold off until reviews come out with the new software. And I know a lot of you are going to ask, how does this compare to the MOZA AB6? Because the price range is kind of the same. So here's a breakdown. The MOZA base is about 20 to 25% larger than this and is clearly not a desktop unit, while this belongs on the desktop. The MOZA does feel slightly stronger in raw power, but it's less of a gap than you might expect when you consider those Newton meter values that get thrown around. The Brunner FFB-G base is on another level when it comes to smoothness and effect delivery. No cogging, it's clean and super precise. Both bases except MOZA, and I think I've got one here as an example. So both bases except MOZA and Thrustmaster and Virpil sticks. The MOZA does come with a stick and the Brunner does not, so factor that into your cost comparison. And the MOZA also has a few handy buttons on the base itself, which the Brunner does not. The build quality on the Brunner far exceeds what you're going to get on the MOZA. And finally, the Brunner is more suited to a desk than the MOZA AB6, just because of that form factor and the size. Next up, the rudders. The new FFB-G Rudder Pedals come in at $799 USD. The original CLS-E MK II rudders, which I did do a review on, are $1,900. So that's over $1,100 in difference. Now, these are smaller, they're more compact than the originals. The power output drops from 220 newtons down to 190 newtons. That's the linear force. On paper, that doesn't sound too much, but honestly, it's been a long time since I've had the full-size CLS-E MK II rudders under my feet. So I'm not going to guess on how that actually translates in feel in terms of power. What I will say though is that they feel very similar in character from what I can remember. Everything you'd expect from Brunner rudders is here. Engine vibrations, turbulence, load through airspeed, prop wash, all of it. The effect suite hasn't been stripped back. One thing I'll note, and this is subjective, is that the brake pedals, pretty stiff, do feel like an improvement over the originals. Still no load cell though, which I was kind of hoping for. Now the thing that ties all of this together, and the reason I've been careful about calling this a review, which it's not, is both the joystick and the rudders are USB only, no RJ connectors. Previously, running multiple Brunner products simultaneously required daisy chaining through the yoke. That's no longer how this works with these products. Everything connects directly to the PC via USB. And that old CLS to Sim software doesn't support that configuration for more than one product at a time. Hence, SimUX or SimUX. I've had a look at the new interface and I'll tell you the UI improvements are substantial. We're talking a completely different experience. You've still got all the similar effects, however they have been reframed slightly. You've got the resistance versus airspeed, the resistance versus deflection curves, natural weight settings, engine vibrations, all the same functionality you'd expect and you got with the older software, but with a much more intuitive layout and I would say more understandable language. Now, from what I've seen, they have kept that deep integration, but they're kind of hiding it more in the back end, which just allows for a better user experience. Now, one of the cool things is, or one of the examples they walked me through is, imagine you're flying a Cessna 172. Let's say that you know at certain points in the RPM ranges, you get some sort of resonance through the cockpit or the airframe. In SimUX, you can dial that in using an adjustable curve editor, allowing you to match that resonance character of the specific aircraft. Now that's a level of detail that gets flight simmers excited. But, and this is important, I haven't actually used the software yet. Everything in this video was tested with the old software, so again, consider the experience here, the floor, and definitely not the ceiling. Overall, I've been genuinely surprised by both of these products, and it's the price that got me. The FFB-G Joystick carries all the hallmark Brunner feel, smooth and refined and accurate, in a package that's now well within reach for a much wider audience. The rudders are in the same position. These aren't compromised budget products. They feel like Brunner chose what to reduce carefully. The one thing standing between these products and a full recommendation is the software. If SimUX lands well, I think these are going to be very popular. Full reviews are coming for each of these products, so make sure you subscribe if you're interested in seeing those. And particularly today, if you are heading to the FS Weekend in Lelystad, I think Brunner have an actual stand there and you'll get to try both of these products out. And if you do get there and you do manage to try these out, come back to this video, drop some comments and let me know what you think.